All right, so at this point, we are ready to learn how to receive user input from the user through the keyboard, and that is what we are going to do in this video. So I want us to create a program that will ask you to enter your first name, it will ask you to enter your last name, and it will ask you to enter your age. Then it will print a nice message by constructing your full name and telling you that after 1 year you will be one plus whatever age you entered. And this is going to be possible because of all the things we have learned so far, especially the immediate past lesson where we learned about how to convert strings into numbers. So let's go ahead and write such a program. So I'm going to create a file called birthday.py, and then I will open that file in Visual Studio Code. Okay, now to get input from the user, Python makes available a function called input in the standard library. Now, when you call the input function, you need to pass in a prompt, and the prompt is a string or a text that the user will see so that the user will know what you expect from them. Before we even write that program, I want you to think of what happens when you go to the ATM machine. When you stand in front of an ATM machine, the machine leads you. It guides you. It first of all tells you insert your card. Then you insert your card. Then it will ask you to enter your PIN. You enter your PIN. Then it will ask you, do you want to make a withdrawal? Do you want to check your balance? Blah, blah, blah. And then you make all those choices. And so the machine itself guides you, okay? It is similar to what we want to do here. We want to get something from the user, but the user won't magically know what we expect from him or her. So we need to be able to show a prompt, okay? We need to be able to tell the user what we expect from him or her so that the user can respond appropriately. To do that, like I said, you call the function that is named input, and then you pass in some string that is going to be the prompt. So I'm going to do one line of code so that you see what happens. So if I say input, what is your name? Okay, this might confuse you because you have seen the print statement, but this input function is totally different from the print statement. The way I'm going to prove that to you is after this, I'm going to print goodbye. Okay, and then let's run this program and we'll see some surprise. So I'm going to run birthday.py. Now wait, the program says what is your name, and I have the second line goodbye. So why hasn't it printed goodbye yet? Well, it is because whenever you use the input function, it is going to cause Python to wait for you to type something on the keyboard and press the enter key. It is only after pressing the enter key that your program is going to continue. So see something. If I press the enter key now, you can see that Python has gone ahead to execute the next line, which is the print goodbye, and now my program has ended. Okay, so always remember, when you use the input function, it is a blocking call. It is going to let Python wait for you to type something on the keyboard and press enter before the next line of code following the input is going to be executed. Now, the next difference between the input and the print, they are not similar in any way, but I'm just saying this so that you are not confused, just in case you are. The difference between the input and the print statement, again, is that the input statement returns what the user entered on the keyboard. The print just prints to the screen and that is it. The input function will print the prompt that you give it. So the what is your name is the prompt, because I want the user to know what I expect. I expect the user's name. Now, this is going to pause. I'm repeating myself because I want you to understand the flow. It is going to pause, wait for the user to enter something on the keyboard, press enter, and whatever the user typed and hit enter is going to be returned. So we can store that returned value into a variable, okay? So I will say, let's say name or full name. I'll say full name is equal to this. Now we can make our prompt look nice. You can see that the cursor, if I run the program again, you can see that the cursor ends right where name is. I mean, I can put a colon there to make it look nice, a colon and a space. Okay, so this is a string, so whatever you put in quotes is going to be printed verbatim, exactly as you have made it, just as it is. Okay, so now it will ask, what is your name? And it will wait for me to type my name, press enter, and whatever I typed will be stored in the variable called full name. So now I will be able to use the full name variable in the print statement. So I can construct a message using concatenation. So I'll say message is equal to welcome plus full name. And then I will print the message here. So what's happening here is after I enter my name, it returns it, and I construct the message welcome full name, and then I print that. So let's run this program and see what it is going to generate for us. So I'm going to run it again. Then this time around, you can see that my prompt looks nicer because I put some colon in there. I left some space so that it looks clean. So it says, what is your name? I enter Edward. Then it says, welcome Edward. The reason is that whatever I typed on the keyboard and I pressed enter got stored in the variable called full name. And on line 2, I am using the concatenation that we learned about to construct a message that says welcome and whatever the name you entered. So if I do this and I run it again, I can do what is your name, and I can say Rosina, and you can see welcome Rosina. If I do it again, I run and it says what is your name, I can say Jason, and you can see that it says welcome Jason. Okay, so now you know how to get input from the user, right? One other thing I want you to remember is that the input, or whatever the user types on the keyboard, is always returned to you as a string. You see, this is why I taught you how to convert from strings to numbers before teaching you this, because there are times when you will ask the user to enter something that is supposed to be numeric, but in Python, whatever the user enters on the keyboard following the input command is going to be returned to you as a string. So now we know how to convert strings to numbers, and so we are going to upgrade this program to ask for the first name, the last name, the age, and it will tell you your age 1 year from now. Okay, all right, so let's say this is going to be first name. So what is your first name? And then I can also say last name is equal to, then I'll change the prompt here. I'll say enter your last name. Okay, and then I will say age is equal to input, how old are you? Okay, and then now I want to construct a message that says you will be so and so years 1 year from now. Okay, so I'll say the message is, first of all, let me construct your full name using concatenation. So I'll say full name is equal to, I want to bring your last name first, and then I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do first name. Okay, and the message is going to say full name, and then I will say you will be, and then I will say age plus 1 plus next year, and then I will print the message. This is not going to do what I expect it to do. I am intentionally doing this so that we can come back to fix the problem. But I want you to understand, because we have learned a lot up to this point. So we are getting input and storing them in appropriate variables. On line 5, I am constructing a full name using concatenation. So you want to watch the concatenation video if you don't understand this. I'm also using concatenation here to construct a message. So I say full name plus you will be I'm just putting in the content of the variables in place to construct a message. And so I'll come here and run this program again. I will enter Edward, I will enter pi, I will enter 89, and poof, it is saying you can only concatenate string and not int to strings. This is similar to the mistake we made and then we fixed. And the reason is I told you that whatever the user enters in response to an input command is going to be returned as a string. And so if you want to use it for mathematical operations, like we want to add 1 to age here, then we want to make sure that we are converting that age into an integer. Okay, so I can come here and say age is equal to int age. I have taught you this in the conversions video. Now this might still not work, and I'll show you why. So let's run this program once again. I enter Edward pi 89, and we still have an issue here. The reason is that over here, you see, on the left side, this is a test, is a string. On the right, this is a string. Now, if I do age plus 1, age here is now an integer because we have called the int function on it. So we have converted whatever the user entered into an integer. And so this is an integer and this is a string. So now we are at the point where Python is confused again. It seems we are performing concatenation, but in the middle there is a number there. Well, the same way we are able to convert strings into numbers, we are also able to convert numbers into strings by using a function called str. So I can call str on this age plus 1 here to convert that into a string. And then we can come here, run the program. I'll say Edward pi 89, and now it says pi Edward, you will be 90 next year. So I want you to take your time and make sure you understand this code very well, because it is essential that you are able to put together all the things we have learned so far to write a simple program that appears seemingly useful. The only new thing I used in this video is the str function. And like I said, it helps you to convert a number into a string. That is the opposite of what we learned in the string conversions video, where we were able to convert strings to numbers by invoking either the int or the float on them. So take all the time you need to make sure you understand this program before you proceed. Thank you very much for watching this, and I will see you in the next video where we talk about yet another data type known as Booleans.